want to see a future where all communities work together in unity.
Tommy Hilfiger is an American premium clothing brand. The company was founded in 1985 by Tommy Hilfiger, and to this very day, the company is still alive and healthy. So, how did it become so popular? Let's find out. Background and founding from 1960s to 1990s. Tommy Hilfiger's career in fashion began in 1968 when he co-founded a clothing and record store named People's Place in upstate New York. Using $150 he had saved from working at a patrol station as startup money, he oversaw the expansion of the company into a chain of 10 stores. Despite meeting with initial success, People's Place filed for bankruptcy in 1977. In 1979, Hilfiger moved to New York City to pursue a career as a fashion designer, working on several different labels including Jordache Jeans. In the early 1980s, he met Mohan Mirjani, an Indian textile magnate, hoping to launch a line of men's clothing. With Mirjani's backing, in 1985, Hilfiger debuted his first signature collection, which featured modernized versions of button-down shirts, chinos, and other classic preppy styles. The casual and youthful attitude of these first designs would remain a trait of the company's later collections. The new clothing line made its debut with a high-profile marketing campaign, which included a large billboard in Times Square by advertiser George Lewis. The Tommy Hilfiger brand left Mirjani International in 1989, with Silas Chow instead providing financial backing. That year, Lawrence Stroll and Joel Horowitz, both former executives of Ralph Lauren, were hired as executives of the newly formed company Tommy Hilfiger Incorporated, which had an initial focus on casual male sportswear. Growth of popularity and product lines from in the 1990s. The Tommy Hilfiger Corporation went public in 1992. After licensing Pepe Jeans USA in 1995, in 1996 Tommy Hilfiger Incorporated began distributing women's clothing as well. By the end of the next year, Hilfiger had opened his first store in Beverly Hills, which was followed by a store in London in 1998. The company launched its bed and bath line in 1998. Throughout the 1990s, the company's marketing division worked on a tandem with the popular music industry, and as early as 1993, Hilfiger was an official sponsor for Pete Townshend's Psycho Dialect tour. In the early 1990s, a baggier, less tailored menswear look came into fashion, and Hilfiger gave his clothes a more relaxed fit. As roomier styles with oversized logos became popular with hip-hop artists in the mid to late 1990s, Hilfiger's style of clothing became both increasingly popular with the American preppy scene and as hip-hop fashion, and when Snoop Dogg wore a Hilfiger sweatshirt during an appearance on Saturday Night Live in the 1990s, it sold out in New York City the next day. Moreover, Hilfiger courted the new hip-hop market, with rappers like Puffy and Coolio walked during his runways shows. With collections often influenced by the fashion of music subcultures, the clothes are also marketed in connection with the music industry, and American R&B icon Aaliyah became the much-publicized spokesperson for Tommy Hilfiger Corporation in 1997. The company would later sponsor Sheryl Crow's If It Makes You Happy tour in 1997, Britney Spears' 1999 Baby One More Time tour, and Lenny Kravitz's 1999 Freedom Tour. Overseas growth in Apex Partners acquisition in the 2000s. Women's intimate apparel was introduced in 2001. After sales and net income flattered in 2001, the company's sales in 2002 totaled $1.87 billion. Overall, between 2000 and 2009, sales slipped from around $1.9 billion to $700 million. During the same time period, however, Hilfiger's European sales steadily rose from $1.3 billion. In 2003, Hilfiger executive Fred Gehring and Hilfiger decided to further invest in the brand's growing overseas audience by refocusing on the brand's original style, classic American cool, and designing the clothes out of New York City. Gehring also adapted the business model to suit European retail culture, pursuing partnerships with European department stores and with smaller boutiques, signing 4,500 of them in 15 countries. Hilfiger also strove to retain the designer brand exclusivity of the Hilfiger label by signing a deal to distribute the best-selling Hilfiger lines at Macy's only. Hilfiger has endorsed products such as True Star, a fragrance which was released in 2004, with Beyoncé Knowles as poster girl. True Star would go on to win a Fi-Fi award for Best New Commercial Fragrance. By 2004, the Tommy Hilfiger Corporation Company had revenues of $1.8 billion and 5,400 employees. In 2006, Tommy Hilfiger sold Tommy Hilfiger Incorporated for $1.6 billion or $6.80 a share to Apex Partners, a private investment company. After the acquisition, Gehring assumed control of the American headquarters of Tommy Hilfiger as well as Europe. Gehring and Hilfiger narrowed their focus in the United States to the profitable core sportswear line, and U.S. sales began to rise in 2010. Phillips Van Heusen acquisition and recent years from 2010s to 2020s. In March 2010, Phillips Van Heusen PVH Corporation bought the Tommy Hilfiger Corporation for $3 billion in a deal that was nearly 7 times what PVH had paid for Calvin Klein in 2003. Fred Gehring, who launched Hilfiger's European division in 1996, assumed the role of Hilfiger's CEO. Global sales and retail for the brand in 2013 were $6.4 billion and $6.7 billion in 2014. Daniel Grieder was appointed CEO of Tommy Hilfiger Group in July 2014. Former CEO Gehring was made executive chairman of Tommy Hilfiger Group and was appointed vice chairman of PVH. In January 2015, Tommy Hilfiger debuted a digital sales showroom at its New York City headquarters, which the publication WGSN opened would transform the traditional buying process. With plans to open showrooms in other cities, Hilfiger described the showroom as an innovation of the order process with cost-saving potentials along the whole value chain. Gehring stepped down as Tommy Hilfiger Group's chairman in August 2015, though he retained his role at PVH. Tommy Hilfiger remains the company's principal designer, leading the design teams and overseeing the entire creative process. In 2020, PVH announced that as part of their animal welfare policy, the company does not use exotic skins and would be banning their use in Tommy Hilfiger collections when our annual update of that policy is released. In 2021, Tommy Hilfiger released their first genderless collection in collaboration with India Moore. And there's the history of Tommy Hilfiger. How did it become so popular? Well, I think it has to do with all those acquisitions that they did over the years. They teamed up with many popular clothes designers, and that's how they became very popular. Anyways, this is where I'm going to end off this video. If you guys haven't enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe to get videos every single day. And also don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell on my second channel. My second channel will be the third link in below. And if you guys would like to send me fan art or follow me on Instagram, you guys can send me fan art on my Instagram, and you can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram will be the second link in below. And if you guys like to join my Roblox fan group, my Roblox fan group will be the first link in below. And if you guys like to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter will be the fourth link in below. And if you guys like to follow me on Reddit, my Reddit will be the fifth link in below. And if you guys like to follow me on TikTok, my TikTok will be the sixth link in below. And if you guys like to check out my Facebook page will be the seventh link in below. And until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!